Good morning, Mrs. Shim. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good.
So good to see you again.
Yes. Thank you for coming in again.
Thank you.
I just want to remind you that anything you say here at the Lexington Family Center will be kept confidential unless I believe yourself or someone else is being harmed.
Yes.
Do you have any questions about that?
No.
We'll be meeting today for about a half hour, and we'll just be following up on what we talked about last time when we met last week.
Okay.
And I'll just get to know what's been going on since then, and we'll come up with some more specific goals to meet your needs.
Yeah. As I shared with you last time about my daughter, my high schooler, Abby, ever since then, we tried to, my husband and I, both together, try to talk to her or spend time with her, so that just to comfort her first and then see what she has in her mind. Because she just, as I shared with you, she just, not talking anymore with anybody at home. And as I told you, then she doesn't want to go to church anymore and all that, she's been doing. But, even though we are going through this divorce process right now, then our priority is, on our children.
Okay.
So he and I, we talked about it. So it was good. We had good conversation, agreement on, we should spend more time with our children, especially Abby. Yeah.
So the conversation you had with your husband, was that typical of a type of conversation, or did you feel there was a lot of tension, or do you think you were on the same page more than you have been lately?
Oh, our relationship-wise, in our conversation, there was a little, like in the beginning as we were opening up, it was little, it found hard, to start what to talk and how to start, ever since he left us. I just felt of, feeling of rejection that he left us, especially kids, and I kind of blaming on him. He's the main, cause of all the problem with, especially with Abby and, how she's behaving right now. So I had kind of a feeling of anger and, rejection and, all those things, feelings were mixed together.
Yeah.
But then his attitude was quite different this time. So as I talked about what's, happening with Abby, and, I met Abby's school counselor, social worker. And what I heard from her, all the details and all the reports, I just shared with him honestly. And as I saw his attitude, more kind of calm, he was calm and he was more kind of humble. I felt that, I didn't need to really, show my anger and all the mixed feelings. I felt kind of okay, we could talk, and that was good conversation we had.
Good.
And he's so much, he loves Abby a lot. That's, for sure. So that conversation was kind of, we just coming together, the point that we love her and we want her to, be Abby again, the normal and how she used to be. Yeah, it was good outcome. So thank you for asking.
I'm actually very impressed to see that all the pieces coming together, yourself and your husband and the school social worker. It sounds like you're all on the same page with a common goal. That's really encouraging for me to hear that your husband has been more involved in wanting to help.
Yeah. I would say that was the answer to my prayer. Though I have, so much, anger and, disappointment and all that I had in my heart. But then when we come together, talk about our children, kids, and Abby especially, that that's again different, story.
Okay.
And she's our priority.
Mm-hmm.
you know. But then Abby is not doing that well. I mean, I don't see much progress right now. So that's the problem. I mean, this is my main concern right now.
What sort of observations have you had about her acting recently?
She, as I told you last time, like she doesn't receive my phone calls.
Okay.
That's been, already, been there. But then also, she doesn't tell me what she has after school. One day she didn't inform me and she was late. I was so worried and I didn't know what to do. I had some phone numbers of her friends, so I tried to contact them, and nobody knew where she was. And she finally came home after, I think, after 6, after dinner time.
Okay.
So I was like terrible it was, because I worried where she would be, and what she's doing and with whom she is, and all those worries. And I texted her like so many text I sent, but that she never responded to that, and nor receiving phone calls. So she made me so worried and mad. But when I saw her, she was coming, walking inside house, and I felt like just like just tears, just I can just it was so. I was thankful to God that God brought her back home safely, and but then because of how she's doing, that makes me so worried. And my concern is, she, at least if she can receive my phone calls and text me where she is and where she wants to go, or like that. She just a 15-year-old. She doesn't drive. She's, at least she has to inform me where she wants to go, or she's getting late because of what, that information I need. Then she doesn't want to communicate with me. That's, I think, showing her how upset, how unhappy she is. Yeah.
And when Abby came home that night, what was her demeanor like towards you?
Like a behavior. I think she wanted, first of all, she wanted me to worry. Yeah, I think that was her. I think plan, old plan. Just I think she wants to get more attention. Okay. And she wants to express that she's going through, I think, hard times and that. I mean, I understand that. That's why I was angry, but then, kind of understanding I felt sad and sorry for her too at the same time.
I think you have a good perspective about it, knowing that even though you're hurting, Abby's hurting too, and you're able to show some grace in that. Were you able to communicate with her about that situation, about her coming home late?
Yeah, I tried to speak to her, but then she refused, hearing from me. Like, she just shut the door again, and I just asked one thing: where were you? She didn't tell me anything. Then the next morning, before she went off to school, I asked her again, where were you? Because I have to know, I'm your mom, and I have to know where you are and where you will be and whether you are safe or not. And then she said, I was in the some kind of club she is in, so she was there. But then that was my fault at the same time, because I didn't check the schedule that she would be in that club gathering. So that was that day. And I just because of all that going on, and I cannot catch up with all the schedules with the kids, even myself. Sometimes I forget about the meetings I have and that. So anyway.
Yeah, full schedule can be very overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
So in that situation, it sounds like Abby wasn't in a situation that she was causing trouble or something there you wouldn't want her to do because she was in the club, but she just didn't want to tell that to you. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm really seeing just a communication issue that she's not necessarily rebelling, just doesn't want to share that with you.
I would say it can be she's being very rebellious.
Mm-hmm.
And also through that, she wants to just express that, okay, whatever you want to do, you do it. Like mom and dad, you want to divorce, okay, go ahead, or whatever. And I'm angry about it. Kind of, feeling she wants to, convey to us.
Okay.
That's what I, assuming. Because it isn't like her. Mm-hmm. She never been like this before. Just a nice, kind, lovely girl, Abby. She was. And I'm so sad, and it's hurting my heart to see her, the differences now and before. Yes.
Well, teenagers definitely communicate different than adults do, and sometimes they just want to send a message that they're not willing to actually share with you.
Yeah, but then she never been like this. Mm-hmm. She was very, different than just, other teenage kids. I don't know. Okay. I mean, she's so responsible. She is, and very much, caring family, and very, kind and tender heart she has. And I mean, I feel so strange to see her, how she's acting, and the emotions she's going through, and totally it's kind of different person I see. So that breaks my heart. And I talked to my husband about that, and he feels, I think, some part, I don't know, he didn't tell me exactly what's going on in his mind, but he said, like, sorry about that, like, for the situation. And he will also try to, spend time with Abby. I don't know, he will do his part. I don't know. Okay. He will call her, message her, or I didn't talk about it with Abby, whether she meets her dad, and because she doesn't want to talk anything with me right now at this point.
So you think they're communicating just based on what your husband has told you?
I'll say it again, sorry.
Abby and your husband have been communicating just by what your husband has told you?
Yeah.
He said
that. He said he tries to, talk to her, and it seems she picks up phone, responds to him. But I don't know how, open she is to her dad. I mean, she loves her dad a lot. Yeah. She shared things with her daddy, and, they used to hang out together. Okay. Yeah. Then now, anyway, it's hurtful for her, right? All the situation.
Yeah. So, do you think something you would want to work on, some sort of a goal, is that you and Abby have some time to communicate together?
I am trying from my side, like, whatever I can, whatever I could. Sometimes I leave, notes for her in a lunchbox, and sometimes she just doesn't take lunchbox. Whatever I prepare, I leave message. I mean, small note, just telling her that I worry about her, and I love her so much, and I'm saying that I'm praying for her, and I don't know how much she takes it.
You seem like a very loving mother.
I'm trying. I'm trying my best at this point. I mean, myself is also, so much, going through a lot of confusion and, what to do next after divorce. And so whatever I could, I'm doing for my daughter.
Are you feeling a sense of guilt for what has happened?
Yeah, I often feel that, it's all what's happening in Abby's life right now. Yeah, most of the reason is because of, our divorce process. Otherwise, she's been a good girl.
Yeah.
So I feel, guilty about all this, what's happening right now. Yes.
You shared that your husband has expressed that he's feeling some guilt. Is that correct?
He didn't, yeah, I mean, just I'm assuming that kind of getting hint as he was, we were having conversation, and towards the end he was kind of sorry for what is happening in Abby's life right now. So I felt, obviously, actually, because the relationship they had, it was very, like so much bond. They've been, hanging out together and all that, and they play tennis and, at weekends, and did some trekkings together.
Yeah.
So much they are like alike.
Okay.
They do, they like things together, together. And another thing, because of all the pressure and, all, worry and concern about my future and my daughter, it's hard for me to sleep at night.
Okay.
So I try not to take coffee in evenings. I mean, I love having coffee in the evenings, but then I just cut even, because if it causes me not to sleep. But then it wasn't coffee only. Just many things are bothering me, my mind. Yeah.
You're really being affected in a lot of areas in your life now. What I'm observing is that Abby has been projecting her emotions on you more than she has on her husband, because she's been calling him back more, but she's been not communicating with you.
Could be. I mean, I don't know, because she doesn't tell me anything, and I didn't hear anything about Abby from her dad. So but probably you are right.
So I wish that somehow we could let Abby see you and your husband equally, and that you both have a part and the whole family has a part in what's going on, and that the fault isn't just yours.
You mean I should tell her that it wasn't, everything isn't my fault, explaining her that it's not my fault?
Well, I don't know if I would necessarily outright tell her that. What do you think? What do you think would happen if you were to tell her that?
I don't want to blame on my husband, and even she hears from me, she will, I don't know, she would not be, so, happy to hear all that, because she will take it again. I'm blaming on her dad.
Yeah, right.
And she just 15-year-old. She just turned 15 last month. I mean, I don't know, it's hard whether to share my feelings that, is related to whatever is related to my husband, my, divorce with her, even though she's our oldest daughter, but then I feel she's still little.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I should share about this with her, my feelings, emotions, and with her, or I don't know. What do you think? What do you suggest?
I think just continued strengthening your relationship with Abby equal to how your husband's relationship is still continuing with her, and I'm just hoping that she figures out on her own that neither of you are against her and that you're both loving and supportive of her and as a family.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking initially that I would do that, but then emotion involves when I see her reaction. She's pushing me away and she shut the door, and as soon as she comes home, she doesn't want to take lunch boxes and each day, and she doesn't even spend time with her siblings, and yeah, once a church youth group director had called, and I just overheard they were talking, and it seems she was kind of opening her heart with him, the director, youth director, church. She is very much friendly with people. She used to be.
Okay.
So I don't know. It'll be helpful, if I talk to the director, youth director, and if he can approach to my daughter. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I mean, it'll be helpful, or I don't want to spread word that she's not doing well, and I don't want to just tell everybody that we are going through divorce process, and unless we agree. I mean, and everything comes towards the end. I don't want anybody to know about
I understand
the situation. It's because to protect our kids.
Right.
Yeah. Since Abby's sisters, they are still going to church. I mean, I don't want anybody, talking about us and the rumors, how fast it goes around, and I don't want they feel again hurt.
Yeah.
So, what do you suggest? I mean, whether should I share with the director?
Yeah, I can understand
youth director.
Right. Yeah, I can understand you definitely wanting that privacy because your other children are attending.
Yeah.
It sounds like the youth director is a great role model for her, though. I would encourage her to continue going to these youth activities so she has him as a role model, but perhaps allow her to open up as she feels comfortable. If she's already kind of sharing, then I think we should leave that up to Abby, what she wants to share.
Yeah, the problem is she doesn't want to go to church. I mean, she doesn't want me to drop her off to the church. Once we went, everybody in the car, and then I dropped them off to the church, and she didn't want to get off. So she came. We just came home, and her siblings went to church. So I don't know. But then I will see if I get any chance to talk to the youth director, if he can. If I feel comfortable, I will just share with him.
Well, sometimes teenagers don't want to share with their parents, as is very common, but they usually seek out somebody to talk to. So I wouldn't be surprised if Abby is finding somebody, whether it be a friend or a teacher that she is talking to, and maybe we'll just let her work it out that way. And you said the school social worker has been getting involved with her as well?
Oh, school social worker? Yeah, I went in to meet the social worker. That was like a couple weeks ago. And my Abby saw, I didn't know she was looking at us. I mean, she saw we were talking and she just was angry. I mean, she was not happy that, why did the social worker call you and all that. And I didn't want to create any other problem further. So she called me, actually, the social worker called me to come in again. But then I said, no,
Okay.
because I have another, social worker to,
Okay.
have such session with another social worker. She said, okay.
Okay.
But then she told me to report, whatever. I want to talk to her. And she said she will also uh, tell me whatever. If she observes something else,
Mm-hmm.
anything she has
Okay.
about Abby.
Good. Well, I respect you wanting to respect Abby's privacy in that.
Mm-hmm.
She must have not
Yeah.
been too happy seeing that, and I can understand.
She just doesn't want to show on other people that be shown like, oh, something is wrong with her,
Right.
that.
Right.
Just she's very sensitive at this moment with everything.
Okay. Well, Mrs. Shim, we just have a few minutes left of our session.
Mm-hmm.
Let's figure out some steps for you to do in this coming week.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you could take a time to intentionally sit down and talk to Abby? I know you haven't been too successful in that. Do you think you could try again?
I'm trying every day, but that frustrates me a lot. Beginning when she was behaving like that, I tried to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she's going through a tough time, and it must have hurt her feelings, and I was very sad about that, and
Mm-hmm.
But then now, as she behaves, she shows that kind of reaction. I feel so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I get frustrated with her.
Okay.
Very much impatient right now. I am.
Yeah.
To just bear with her reaction.
Okay.
At least she should tell me where she is and where she's going and all that, right? Information where she, Okay. Yeah, but I will. I will try. I cannot promise, but
Yeah.
I will try my best.
Well, I've had some clients before that were much more successful in writing a letter because then their daughter or whoever they're trying to communicate with can read it on their own time instead of, putting up that guard and not wanting to communicate. That's something you could think about.
Yeah, as I told you earlier, that I'm leaving little notes and telling her that I love her and, please at least tell me where you are and, if you are late and you have something going on in the school, I don't mind, coming and picking you up anytime, but she just doesn't tell me anything, she doesn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think I should still continue writing letter or notes, leave notes to her?
If you'd like to try a longer letter so you can get out everything that you would like to say to her and kind of provide her the opportunity to respond in a letter if she'd like to, just leave that open to her.
Okay.
You can at least get your thoughts out.
Okay, I think I need to work on that. Yes. Yeah, I will try.
Yeah. And I'm encouraged to hear that she's been speaking with your husband. So perhaps when that relationship is strengthened, she might feel more comfortable talking to you.
Yeah, but then that I can't really, say like how much they've been talking and but she wants to spend time talking with her dad. I don't know.
Yeah.
You wanna contact to my husband, and I can ask him if I can leave his phone number with you. If it is necessary.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that at this time, but if he's interested in speaking to me, he can reach out to me.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I will do that.
Okay.
Yeah, if it is, you just say who you are, and then it's something to do with Abby, then he might, yeah.
Okay.
And I will inform him that I had a session with you regarding Abby.
Just continue that strengthening relationship with him and then with her, and I hope we can talk about it again next week.
Yeah.
And see how that went.
Yeah, and I want to sleep well at night.
Yeah.
So I probably go see a doctor this week,
Okay.
psychiatrist or counselor. What do you think?
If you feel you need that, I would encourage you to reach out in those areas. Okay, well, we can meet again next week, and I'd like to hear more about what's been going on.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for coming. Goodbye, Mrs. Shim.
Thank you. Bye-bye.